Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Phoenix. I am the creator of Phoenix Rising coloring books, and today I'm going to be coloring in one of the pages from my Third Eye Mandalas adult coloring book, while I talk about how to protect your energy as an empath intuitive. I feel like this subject is so important to talk about because everyone wants to know how to open their third eye, but not a lot of people learn how to protect their energy, and then they end up not being able to handle this experience. So I want to do everything I can to empower people to live in harmony with their intuition. When a person develops their intuitive abilities, they often feel inundated by uninvited information and frequencies coming from their environment. You will often hear the narrative about a brand new empath being so overwhelmed by psychic downloads that they can't be around people at all because they can't bear to feel everybody's shit all at the same time. Now, while this is a valid experience, it would be in your best interest to learn how to exist as an empath intuitive without feeling so overwhelmed all the time. Learning how to maintain your inner peace and calm in the face of negative energies or uncomfortable downloads will allow you to have better discernment and make better decisions that are more aligned with your higher path and that will benefit you in the long run. The first thing that you need to understand is that there actually is no outside force that you are a victim to. Your experience comes from inside of you, even when the energy is originating from somebody else. All negative feelings spawn from negative beliefs. The experience of being overwhelmed is created by your belief that becoming an empath means that you will become a defenseless sponge and that you will have to absorb any energy coming your way. This false narrative is embedded into society and has been perpetuated through movies, books, myths, etc. This belief causes you to automatically match an external energy, making it your own. Now, when you do this, you create a representation of that frequency out of your own energy. Once you match it, you open up the floodgates of that experience and you allow yourself to feel all of the feelings associated with that belief. Now, the truth is, you don't actually have to absorb, match, or subscribe to any energy that you don't want to. By simply acknowledging that a vibration isn't your own, you can let it go and choose to stay in your own frequency. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if something I feel is mine or if it's coming from someone or something else? Good question. One thing that you should always do, you should ask yourself, where is it coming from? Do you have a logical, practical reason for suddenly feeling rage or anxiety? Or did it come out of nowhere for no reason while you were in a neutral mood on a good day? Keep in mind that true intuition feels like inspiration and it has a lightness to it. It has a light quality. While fear-based thoughts masquerading as intuition feel heavy and they cause you to endlessly loop on the subject, relentlessly engaging your mind and not your heart. You can also try speaking to a foreign feeling directly and ask it why it manifested. If that feeling was negative, 9 times out of 10, it will recoil and disappear upon being confronted directly. If you're out in public and you determine that a specific feeling is coming from someone else, repeat the mantra, what's mine is mine and what's theirs is theirs, until you no longer feel the grip of that feeling. Now, the best way to determine the origin of sudden thoughts and feelings is to become extremely familiar with your own inner voice by spending multiple days completely alone in nature. Isolation will allow you to be free from other people's energetic influence so that your inner voice can be easier to hear. It may take a day or two to wash out old fear and trauma-based thought patterns, but the isolation can accelerate that process and help you discover your center. Once you get a feel for your own inner voice, it becomes a lot easier to tell if something is coming from you or not. You can also benefit greatly from familiarizing with your own symbology. What are the symbols that pop up in your life time and time again? And what do they mean to you? So each individual has their own set of symbols that they accumulate throughout their life, such as lucky numbers, favorite animals, archetypes, etc. Other more popular symbols such as tarot and astrology can also be incredibly helpful when it comes to receiving downloads from your higher self. I strongly recommend learning the 22 major arcana and their corresponding symbols so that you can play around with receiving your intuition through images of the cards. And I don't necessarily mean that you should start reading tarot cards, but that you might start seeing cards in your mind's eye that correspond to the reality in front of you. For example, say a friend is like walking up to you to say hi, and then all of a sudden the Tower card pops up in your head, in your mind's eye. Then later on, as you're talking to them, you might find out that their life is suddenly in shambles, it's upside down. Now, that's exactly what the tarot card, the Tower, represents. So when you got that download of the tarot card, it was indicating to you that that energy was in that person's life. Now, let's get into the topic of somatic lies. This is super important. I think everybody needs to know about this, especially if you're an empath intuitive. You need to know about somatic lies. A somatic lie is a physical sensation that reflects an external vibration but is misinterpreted as an internal vibration. I'll give you an example. So I live in an apartment building, and one night I was relaxing before bed in a great mood, and then I suddenly started feeling tension in my body and all of these like physical sensations associated with like being irritable or angry. And I was like, why do I feel this way? Like it felt so foreign to me because I had absolutely no reason whatsoever to feel negative at all. Now, fortunately, because I have really been studying my mind and my inner voice, I was able to identify it as foreign, and then I decided, not to subscribe to it, not to match it. But, in this situation, most people who aren't familiar with their own inner voice would most likely interpret those physical sensations as being their own, and then they would find a logical reason from their past to explain why they feel angry or upset in that moment. It's not that your body is lying to you, it's that we've been raised to believe in trusting your gut and the body doesn't lie without having been taught the most important part, which is to distinguish between your own frequency and those of the environment. The body is like a neutral radio antenna that picks up on any frequency within reach. It's up to you to know what your channel is and to decide to stay tuned to your channel and not any other channel. So at this point, you might be wondering, it's great to know how to manage these foreign energies, but you just wish there was a way to just turn it off. You just want to be able to flip a switch, turn it off, and just be at peace for a little while. And I know how this goes because if you live in an apartment building like me, you may be bombarded with other people's shit without notice because you know how it is. The walls don't really block energy any better than they block sound, so you're gonna get inundated. Like when you're an empath, home sweet home can quickly turn into mystery download circus. Only if you match it, of course. So what do? I am not currently aware of any way in which you can literally just turn off the switch of your third eye. But there are some things that you can do in your home to kind of create a space that is more peaceful and a little more protected. So you can protect your home by loading it up with hematite, obsidian, and selenite, especially in the room that you spend most of your time in. You can also light a white candle to clear the room of negative energy because white candles act as portals for love and light. And of course, you can burn sage, palo santo, sweetgrass, or any other herb of your choice, while also declaring your intention, and you can use any other permission slip that you resonate with to create a boundary of peaceful energy. Another thing I want to remind you of is that you are protected. Don't even think for a split second that your ancestors are not standing by your side 24/7, rooting for you and assisting you from behind the scenes. You are loved and protected. There is an infinity of love coming your way 24/7, and you have so many people that have your back on the astral plane. All of your ancestors are literally lined up behind you, shielding you from the bullshit left and right. And yeah, sometimes life gets hard and shitty things can happen, but don't think that you're alone, and don't give up your power to external energies because you are an incredibly powerful being. You are an incredibly powerful manifester who is backed up by thousands and thousands and millions and an infinity of loving beings on the other side who are literally assisting you and supporting you every step of the way through this journey that we call life. So I want to remind you that you are loved and you are protected. Don't ever forget that. Okay, so if you would love to read articles and blogs about the third eye and spirituality, how to protect your energy, all this cool stuff like that, I will leave links below to my blog. And if you want to purchase this coloring book, I will also leave a link. So don't forget to subscribe, check out my website, and you have yourself a wonderful day, my love. Bye bye.